Coordinating collaborative planning also includes coordinating organizational elements through the structure of your business. One of these core components is common purpose. Common purpose is the roadmap to your company culture, and leadership is the driving force behind this. If your leaders don't know the who, what, when, where, and how of your organization, neither will your people. Your organization's common purpose will be different than others, even those within the same industry, as your business is an individual and requires different considerations. Sometimes this is tied in with an organization's vision and mission statements, but common purpose takes it a step further to clearly define a business's values. Therefore, a clear purpose sets out the values and creates a standard within the business that all tasks, objectives, and new innovations should work towards the common goal. Once a clear purpose is accepted and recognized across your business, we can explore the coordination of effort within the organization to maximize resources. It's important to understand that common purpose can only be fully realized through successful coordinated effort. If an employee or member of your organization isn't connecting or isn't involved in the coordinated efforts, we can lose these employees to turnover, or reduced efficiencies may be recognized with that employee because of the disconnect they feel from the rest of the organization. Sometimes resistance can be found with individual employees and even groups of employees. This means that employees within the organization are actively resisting the coordination of effort to fulfill the common purpose of the organization, as they may feel past process were better, or they simply resist change. Obtaining buy-in from the organization may require the use of training and education or clear communication and visuals around why changes in effort help the entire system. If you do not know the skills and skill sets of your employees, you will also run the risk of them disconnecting from the purpose. Underutilized employees can feel underappreciated, or they simply can get bored with their job function. This is an argument for the benefits of cross-training with employees. Cross-training is a tactic in business and is about taking an individual within your organization and allowing them to train in other job functions, or simply to learn how other jobs are conducted across the organization. The concept of cross-training has multiple benefits. However, we'll only discuss a few. The first benefit is that cross-training allows employees to get a better feel for the needs within an organization and provides a new perspective within the same business. This assists in the connection with the common purpose. Second, cross-training can act as a stopgap when employee turnover becomes an unexpected issue. Employees that have cross-training in other areas of the business can act as temporary stopgaps to ensure the operations continue as planned, with the loss of the skill set that occurs when an employee turns over. Last point to mention is cross-training often creates better understanding around the impacts different roles and responsibilities have on other jobs. Cross-training often provides more empathy within the organization as employees get exposed to the benefits and detriments of different functions. The concepts of coordinated effort and the goals it seeks to obtain are similar to the collaborative planning within supply chain. If your various departments aren't actively working together to motivate and distribute human resources, major disconnects will creep in and efficiencies will be lost. Division of labor has connection with process mapping and seeks to separate the number of tasks required to complete an objective while assigning these tasks to separate people or groups. This concept historically has been attributed to the growth of total output and trade, the rise of capitalism, and the increasing complexity of industrialized process. The emergence of globalization has compounded the complexity of division of labor, resulting in more focus to delegate tasks while also recognizing more complex tasks and assigning employees or systems that specialize in these kinds of tasks needing to be completed. Division of labor isn't always exclusive to human delegation. With the increasing exploration of automation, division of labor must include the machines and systems that are replacing task completion historically completed by people. Hierarchy of authority intends to create a clear chain of command within the organization and can take different structures to accomplish what the organization is seeking to do. Functional organizational structure seeks to organize all members of the organization based on similar tasks and attempts to group them based on speciality. This is the foundation of common department structuring like marketing, accounting, service, and sales. This allows for quick decision-making as groups can easily communicate. Divisional structure, on the other hand, is based on products and is another structure that works to group workers into teams based on the products or projects they work on. An example of this is how Apple structures division based on research and development of the iPad versus the iPhone, or beyond even hardware, dedicated keyboard divisions to optimize keyboard functionality across products. Matrix structure combines functional and divisional models, making it more complex. In this matrix structure, members are given more autonomy while also taking on more responsibility for their individualized work. This often increases team productivity and drives the creative and innovative processes. This structure requires significant planning, resource up front, but often this pays dividends later on. Lastly, we'll mention flat organizational structure. This attempts to disrupt typical top-down management models by decentralizing management authority. Each team member is the boss of themselves, attempting to eliminate bureaucracy and improve direct communication. Employees are given decision-making power to implement new process if the new process saves the company money or creates additional revenue. When adopting this type of a structure, it's important to note that top-down management may be required temporarily depending on the type and size of various projects within this structure. These different structures seek to make sure the right people and the right things happen at the right time, while creating clear mechanisms around who will make decisions under what circumstances, all with the objective of creating agile business response. So now we're going to circle back and discuss integration a little bit more in depth. Potential issues. Issues are inevitable, and when integrating new process or systems, issues can compound quickly when a project becomes more complex and includes more people, process, and technologies. Additionally, when considering technology, we must consider the features, functions, and benefits of integrating these technologies and how these changes will change the organization both on an operational level as well as on a cultural level. Mitigation of these issues can be assisted by involving people early in the integration process. People are full of insights and understanding, and even the most basic job function can provide significant insight to the individual completing that function. Some organizations that do not involve people early on in their integration plans can experience major ruptures in their integration success. That basic job function has an expert that knows that function inside and out. It can be easy for management teams to think that they are the experts, and these assumptions without employee engagement can be the catalyst to integration failure. Integration buy-in among your organization and other stakeholders is essential. People will be the biggest resistors of change. By involving them early, they will have additional time to recognize the vision and reasons behind the changes, making the changes easier to accept across the organization. So what is the end goal? The end goal of any integration process, especially within supply chain management, is the creation of large-scale business strategy that brings as many nodes and stakeholders within the supply chain network as close together as possible. This doesn't necessarily mean physical closeness. This speaks more to the aligning of process for the collective good of the entire chain. Successful integration should result in improved response times, production time, and reduction in cost and waste. So what are the benefits of supply chain integration? Most changes shouldn't take place without easily recognizable benefits. These benefits can be realized and recognized in a variety of ways. Integration in supply chain and prioritization of integration should focus on finding benefits in the following key areas. Creating customer connection can take many forms. However, any integration should assist in better understanding customers and developing better ways to serve them. Integration should always see a direct benefit in the form of cost efficiencies with increased return on investments and increased profit margins. Waste reduction should be a natural benefit to integration, as integration seeks to remove the redundancies while improving time and flow and optimizing the allocation of resources. Effective resource allocation makes sure the right resources are at the right place at the right time for the right purpose. Reducing risks may seem obvious. However, most people don't always make the connection that by reducing your risks, in turn, increases your competitiveness. Your risks become your team risks. And the less prevalent risks are, the more confident your supply chain partners can be in your operation. Demand is an ever-changing, highly complex component of any supply chain. Integration will improve your ability to keep up with demand while becoming more flexible to the changes in the market. As you integrate new systems within your own operations, this can create opportunity with other members of your supply chain. Most stakeholders are set up to recognize improvements within their collaborative network. If your integration is properly planned and implemented, and the realization of improvement is easily seen, this may create joint opportunities to pool investment with other operators to create collective power. Lastly, but one of the more important benefits, is that a fully integrated supply chain system creates early warning signs for all members of the supply chain. The recognition of problems early will assist all members to work cohesively to adapt to these issues. As ridiculous as this might sound, supply chain networks that integrate together optimize together. In summary, this session we've covered what ERP or enterprise resource systems are, along with their benefits and considerations that should be taken before integration. We've also explored considerations needed when coordinating organizational elements through organizational structure, and lastly, the end goals, issues, and benefits of integration. Up next, we'll return to touch base with Chris for session 7, where he'll dive a bit deeper into implementation and revisit points around your original problem or project and discuss a more in-depth business case.